So we just did have a little bit of a chat here, and we just did a past life regression session, first one for Dion, and we might just get a little bit of feedback of how the process was, man.
Next level, man. Amazing. I can't really describe it properly.
So first let's just describe some of the stages that you went through. So initially, how did you find the process of just relaxing and going into it?
Yeah, well, great. Like it's similar to a standard meditation. Yeah, but then went further into that meditation, further into that relaxation, and then well and truly outside of that, like deeper.
Cool. And the first resource we went to was just discovering a safe place for yourself. And how was that?
Yeah, great. I made a nice little room. Had a bunch of it smelled like the beach. Smelled like I was at the Sunshine Coast actually. Then yeah, had some nice sort of green stuff in there, and I could see a little light out the side. Yeah, it was good.
Fantastic. So we created a bit of a safe place, and then we went to a bit of an age regression to a point earlier in your life. What was the first thing that came up?
Was when I was at one of my old houses at Beenleigh, and I was in the backyard. I was playing with our old guinea pig, Sparky. We were in the sunlight and underneath this awning. It's good.
And what was the perception of the picture that you were there? Were you like seeing it on a screen? Were you feeling like you were there?
I was first person view out of my own existence, like I was there, and I was patting the guinea pig, and I was feeling the warmth of the sunlight. I was looking out into the backyard at all the trees, and just seeing that sunlight glow through the yard was like I just felt at peace. Everything was amazing.
Cool. And then from there we went back even further, and you said you actually had a point where you believed that you were actually inside your mother's womb.
Yep.
And what was that experience? What was happening?
Well, I was just, it seemed like I was in her, at the hospital is what I was sort of feeling, like I was in, like I might have been just about to go into delivery room or something like that, I don't know, but it was a very quiet outside of being in there. I could almost see flashes of the hospital inside of my head when I was in that moment. So it was different, but I can just see like this, I don't know, like a yellowy orange glow all around me sort of thing. But yeah, that's where I felt like I was.
And moving back to our first regression, when we started to go back to a place into a former life, contacting your higher self and your guides for direction, and we started to go to a place or a scene or a face. Do you want to describe how that started to manifest itself?
Okay, so when I was getting in contact with my higher self, I was finding out what to call my higher self at that time, and what came to me was Gaita, Gaita. So I don't know how or why, but it started with a J before that, like Jgaita. Anyway, so that was the name. They sort of helped me through an area, and opened up a space for me to pretty much start moving into what.
And what was the first thing that you noticed? Was it a face or a scene?
Well, I saw my higher self in like a dark area that was guiding me and helping me, and then opened up this space to. It ended up being that room that was safe. When I was in that room that was safe, that we made earlier, it was actually more than just the room that I had made that was safe. It was actually this mud hut type of building. Like, it reminded me of a mud hut type of igloo that was right outside of like a busy town somewhere. I could see a whole bunch of people, like peasant type looking people outside of the building, walking back and forth. The occasional eye would look in and see what I was doing inside my building. And I saw off to the side of the room this canvas type, like a camp bed, that would have been where I slept, with like a thin mattress on top of that camp type canvas bed. There was at the end of the bed like a storage bookshelf type thing that was in an A-frame. Had a couple of shelves on it with some sort of little artifacts and statues and stuff, and off of the top of it there was some beaded necklaces, like pretty big, thick wooden beads, that seemed like they were from different types of trees, on a necklace at the end of this storage case, whatever. I could see my sandals on my feet.
So let's describe more of the person you saw. We'll start from the feet. You started to notice they're wearing sandals,
Yep.
quite old.
Yep. So he definitely seemed like he was far older than I am. Like, he looked like he was probably, I don't know, equivalent to like a 80 or 90-year-old person of our day.
Did you notice any complexion of the skin?
So still like a Caucasian sort of colouring, but he had very sort of thick skin, like a very supple but leather, but Caucasian. Like, he was definitely a weathered elderly man. Very, very long white beard on his face. He was sort of thin in the face, but healthy, like very healthy looking, but very old, from what I could pick up.
Did you notice any distinguishing features on the face?
Well, his face looked like he was me, like he had my face underneath all of this, really, really long white hair, that was sort of like fluffy and well kept and whatever, but yeah, very, very old version of me in a totally different place at a totally different time. Like, it felt like I was like back in, around the time of Jesus or something. Like, it felt like it was a long time.
So did this feel like you were imagining this, or did this feel like you were experiencing this?
It felt like I was there. It didn't feel like an imagination at all. It felt like this was one of my memories from this time that I was doing this. It was very, very different to an imagination.
Fantastic. So, regarding the whole experience, what have you been able to take out just from this first session of contacting yourself in a past life?
Well, I mean, I can feel and see that it's there. I can feel and see that it's not that, I've just been here and this is it. Like, there is more that I've done before this, 39 years that I've been on the planet. Like, I can now comfortably understand that I have had more happen previously to now, and that's cool.
And that actually means that we're more than the physical body.
Well, man, I definitely wasn't in this physical body at that time. I can tell you, I was someone else.
Anything else that you want to anything you want to share that I may not have asked, or any insights, or?
Man, for a first time that I've ever been on this sort of a voyage, on this sort of a walk, on this sort of a meditation, I feel absolutely awesome. But I have such an excitement inside me now. Like I've not felt like this for a very long time.
Excellent. I'm excited to do the next one.
Sounds good.
Thanks, man.